Welcome to this special video on the importance of financial literacy. This video is a collaborative effort of 7 finance experts from different parts of the world who have come together to share their insights and experiences on why financial literacy is so critical in today's world. Money matters, and it matters a lot. Yet, far too many people lack the knowledge and skills needed to effectively manage their finances. This can lead to financial stress, debt, and a lack of financial security. But it doesn't have to be this way. Financial literacy isn't something you're born with. It's a skill that can be learned, developed, and honed over time. And that's where this video comes in. We created this video in association with the book Money Matters, a financial literacy adventure for adults. The book takes you through the basics of personal finance and gives you the tools you need to become financially literate. The book covers everything from budgeting and saving to passive income and retirement planning. With simple conversational language and a healthy dose of humor and irony, you'll be on your way to a brighter financial future in no time. To find out more about Money Matters, a financial literacy adventure for adults, just click the link in the description box of this video and you'll be taken straight to Amazon. Now back to this video. This week you'll hear from 7 finance experts who share practical tips, strategies and insights to help you become more financially literate. So whether you're just starting out on your financial journey or you're looking to take your financial literacy to the next level, this video is for you. Get ready to be inspired, informed and motivated as we explore the importance of financial literacy with the help of our expert panel.
When people discover the power of investing for the first time, they often ask why schools don't teach us about savings, investing and budgeting. The UK has a growing savings gap, and part of the problem is not that people don't want to save, it's that they just don't know how best to do it. So they simply put their savings into a bank account that almost always pays an interest rate below inflation. And what that means is that those savings lose their buying power over time as prices rise faster than their savings can grow. Too few people are saving in a way that beats normal inflation, let alone the eye-watering levels we are seeing at the moment. And the challenges of the past year have highlighted just how much people's finances can be squeezed by a high inflation environment. Yet most people don't have the knowledge to make better financial decisions. Whether it's investing, inflation, interest, debt, high cost credit, all of these things massively impact our ability to achieve our goals. So the sooner that we learn about them, the better for all. And the UK lags far behind other developed countries when it comes to financial literacy, which can only be detrimental to our country's economy. In a nutshell, you can't create a business plan without a basic knowledge of how to budget. These challenges are urgent. A lesson we can learn from the current pressures on household budgets is how to be better prepared for when it happens again. And that comes from improving financial literacy. The good news is that we know what works. 10 years ago, at True Potential, we began a partnership with the Open University to create the True Potential Centre for the Public Understanding of Finance. And as part of that work, we created a set of free modules aimed at improving the public's knowledge and confidence with their money. And these courses have been taken by over 1 million people so far. And whilst we take pride as a private business in being able to help where we can, there is still an obvious and urgent need for educational reform. That's why, together with former Education Secretary Justine Greening, we've been calling for the reform of the Maths GCSE in order to place financial literacy education at the core of the curriculum. Teaching children about savings, money, the impact of inflation, and the financial services and advice available to help them manage their future wealth is part of our overall responsibility, and a responsibility that should be shared by all. But as a wealth management company, our responsibility to improving financial literacy doesn't end when people reach 18. We manage over £25 billion of our clients' money, and we believe in empowering them through advice, through guidance, and giving them the technology which gives the confidence, the knowledge, and the ability for them to take control of their finances.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Britton from Boston Trading Co., where we make investing in crypto safe and simple for everyone. This is my 13th startup business. I've had a few businesses, obviously, including 6 or 7 financial planning businesses. And I'm here to talk to you about financial literacy. Basically, that's a couple of big words, but what it means simply is learning how to get rich, making more money and living the lifestyle that you really want to have. Now, if you're like me and a lot of normal people, you started out working a normal job as an employee where you receive a wage or a salary. And from there, it becomes a little bit more complicated because you're not going to make enough money working in a normal job to live the lifestyle that you really want to live, because there's not enough hours in the week for you to work all the hours that you need to do. So if you want to make more money, you're going to have to get into investing where your money can actually work for you. This is where it starts to get complicated because the investment world uses a lot of jargon. So it's important to understand that it's basically all about the income. Again, as an employee, you get a wage or a salary. If you have an investment property, then you get a rent. If you invest in bonds, you make yield. If you have stocks and shares, then you get dividends. If you make music or books or something like that, movies, you may receive royalties. If you start your own business, you get revenue, and people say things like EBITDA and this sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's all about the income. It's making additional income from additional sources that you didn't actually have to work for. Now, it was a big learning curve for me. My grandparents never had an investment property, never invested in stocks and shares. My own parents were employees. They never bought an investment property, never invested in stocks and shares. So all the things that I learned after I left home. I got to meet some people after I left home who were having a fabulous lifestyle, making money while they slept, and I decided to learn as much as I could. So I started my first financial planning business when I was 19, and I learned as much as I could and then started teaching other people. Now, if you're confused by the terms and you don't know where to start, after 15 years in financial planning, I actually wrote this book. I think it's a really good book because I wrote it, but also because it distills things down, makes things very, very simple so that you can understand what people are talking about when they use these acronyms, when they talk about weird things like the All Ords and the Dow Jones and the Nikkei Dow and the Doxy, and on the news or the papers when they're talking about PER or NTA or EPS or something like that. It actually explains it all for you. And this book has been read by 10-year-old kids, 14-year-old kids, and they understood it, and they could actually start investing into companies that they know and trusted. Now, when you first start out investing, you don't need millions of dollars to invest. You can start with literally $1 or $2. Basically pocket change. You can invest into stocks and shares. You can invest in cryptocurrency. And then obviously once that grows to a decent amount, then you can start investing in, bonds and properties and things like that. Businesses you can start as a side hustle. So it is very simple to start, but you just got to understand the jargon, and that's one of the steps. You will make mistakes along the way. Like, I've lost money by investing into investment properties. I've lost money by investing into stocks and shares. I've lost money in crypto, but I've also made a lot as well. So the important thing to realize is you will make mistakes, you'll lose money, but the investment that you make in your own education, what you put in here, no one can ever take that away from you. And mistakes that you make, you'll learn from your experience. So it is important to start. It's important to find a book, borrow a book. I'll send you a copy of this book if you want to learn how to do it safely and simply. Get started. But again, getting started, $1 or $2, $10, that sort of stuff, you can actually get started in investment, and you can get started learning things. Increasing your financial literacy, learning how to get rich, learning how to make money while you sleep. It can be very simple once you actually understand it. It's kind of like going to a foreign country, but if you've got a guidebook or if you've got someone who speaks the language, it makes the experience much more easy and much more pleasurable for you. Send me any questions you have. Happy to help out. As I say, happy to send you a copy of the book so that you can learn and get started on this wonderful world of making a lot more money, living the lifestyle you desire, and impacting your community, your family and friends.
Hi, I'm Phoebe Blamey. I am the author of The Happy Money Journey, and I am also the owner of Clover Financial, a small mortgage broking business based in Melbourne. I also have a qualification as a financial planner, and I've passed my FASEA exam, although I'm not currently practicing in financial planning. I really find financial literacy such an important topic, both for ourselves and for our community. Having our financial affairs in order improves our standard of living. It helps us reach our goals, and it means that we're less likely to get sidelined by bad financial decisions, bad debts, and similar. But it also has a national impact, and that is that we get a more streamlined, efficient financial system because people are making good financial decisions. There's less loss, and there's particularly less loss with businesses. And loss or fear of loss is one of the big things that financial literacy can kind of help you get over, because not having financial literacy means that financial decisions could become really stressful and cause you a lot of stress and anxiety, which then becomes a bit of a wellness issue. We make decisions based on stress. We don't often make very good decisions when we're making decisions based on stress. And the other thing that lack of financial literacy means is that we're often making decisions based on bias. We're looking at lucky outcomes. We're comparing ourselves to others, and we may be coming up short or tall, but we're really not making decisions based on actual facts, but on our own opinions. And lacking financial literacy, those opinions, it might come off, but it also might mean that we end up with less than we could have, or a less satisfactory life than we could have if we were financially literate and made good financial decisions. So listening to experts, reading books, understanding what the impact of your investment decisions and the impact of your lending decisions mean, because we see a lot of people in very financially stressed situations sort of pouring more debt into it, or perhaps making poor investment decisions, that with a little bit of understanding of what the outcome could be of that decision would probably make better decisions. So you need to understand your own propensity to risk and what you are potentially going to lose based on the financial decisions you're making. For instance, taking out a mortgage and not paying it back can mean that you don't keep your house. So understanding what the risk is of the decisions you're making and what your future plans are and how what you're doing is going to fit into those future plans. We're in an environment at the moment with really high cost of living, really raising interest rates, and a highly stressed financial environment that's, not aided by media supposition and stuff like that. But knowing your own financial position in this swirling, difficult environment can help you make really good, sound financial decisions, not just for how you're going to live in retirement, but how you live now, and making sure that you're living within your means and you're doing things that are going to help you build a really secure and sound future. And that's basically what financial literacy is all about. So reading books, taking courses, understanding your own financial situation is of paramount importance to improving your financial literacy. Good luck and enjoy your journey.
Hi, I'm Andrew Wheatley. I own a mortgage broking business based in Melbourne. I was the Victorian Finance Broker of the Year in 2021 and then backed it up again in 2022. You may have also seen me recently on Channel 9 News, where I was commenting for their 12K challenge as the mortgage expert, and I was also recently featured in Forbes magazine talking about the same thing. Now, do I say that just to big note myself? Yeah, a little bit, but mainly I just want you to quickly get the idea that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to mortgages. And the people at Money and You have asked me to share some financial literacy advice with you. And I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm just going to give one piece of advice, and I'm going to keep to my expert area, which is mortgages. And it is this, right? Understanding that banks treat new clients differently to existing clients. New clients get the best rates. New clients get access to cashbacks and all kind of things when they refinance. Existing clients The job of banks then is to just drive up the interest rate to try to make as much money out of them. The days of being rewarded for loyalty are a long, long past, and now it's just the more you stay, the more you will pay. So if you think about it, that your mortgage is your largest expense, right, and you're trying to save money, the low-hanging fruit is to go and look at the biggest expense. That's where you're going to get the biggest savings with the smallest amount of effort. So if you take this concept in mind, right, new clients get the best deals. They get the cash, they get the cheapest rates. Then what do you want to do? Well, you want to become a new client. But just doing it once doesn't really work. You need some sort of process to regularly become a new client. Now, the average mortgage in Australia stays with a lender for 7 years, but that's including people who sell their houses and all kind of stuff. I think most people stay way longer than that because they just don't want to have to deal with it, right? However, don't let that be you. If you can get good at comparing your current mortgage deal to the best deals out in the market and not being afraid to do a little paperwork to move, the benefits are massive. At the moment, there's cashbacks of $3,000 or $4,000. You can usually get a good bit off your interest rate. On average, we tend to knock off about 0.5% off an interest rate. Now, if you're doing that every couple of years, over the course of the next 10 years, the benefits you have gotten are just absolutely massive for, like I said, a couple of hours work every couple of years. It is the best side gig or side hustle that you are ever going to come across. Now, one step further, if you can do that without having to spend a load of your time on Google going down rabbit holes trying to compare 20 different banks, then the savings are even better, right? And that's where having a really good mortgage broker comes into play. Now, I'm biased there, but there are so many fantastic mortgage brokers out there. The industry is so well regulated now that, it should not take you long to shop around and find someone who is like super on the ball, that you trust, who can do most of this legwork for you. So now you're getting the same outcomes, but with even less time and not having to do too much thinking. You really just can just jump on the good deals when they come up. So be a new client and have a process to regularly become a new client. Try to be getting out of banks every 2 to 3 years, not 7 years plus like most people. And that is the best piece of financial literacy advice that I can give you.
Hi, my name's Andrew Woodward, founder of The Investor's Way, and your leading wealth coach specialising in empowering people with financial literacy to manage and grow your money for the rest of time without having to outsource it to someone else. With everything that's occurring in the world right now, financial literacy could not be more relevant or important as a topic. Now is the time to take control of your money and your future by becoming educated on how to manage and grow your money. The thing is, we're not taught how to manage money at school, so we leave the education system to start earning an income, but have no formal education on how to actually do it. This means most people learn their money skills from their parents or people around them as they grew up. If they are good money managers, then the odds are more in your favour. However, if they aren't, then odds are you won't be either. We learn our money mindset from as young as the age of 2, so it's well ingrained by the time we reach adulthood. The good news is that you can change your habits. You can create an environment with money for success. It just takes the knowledge. A system which Tony Robbins describes as the secret to success in anything, and the confidence that comes from knowing you're heading in the right direction. Financial literacy for women is also something that I'm passionate about and recently contributed a chapter to the Book of Fire about. The facts are that women are better investors than men. They don't let ego get in the way. So I'm eager for more women to access financial literacy training so they can secure their financial future efficiently and effectively. With more women choosing not to marry and the fact that women outlive men, there's a real need for women to have access to financial literacy education. Now, while money isn't everything, it sure helps access the things in life that people want most. It provides choices to be able to enjoy the life and the experiences that get your juices flowing. The thing that I say all the time to my clients about financial literacy is that you have it for the rest of time. And once you've invested in gaining this knowledge, you get to use it for the rest of your life. Even when you stop working, it will still be useful. On the other hand, if you outsource control of your money to someone else, when you stop paying, the knowledge goes away too. So take advantage of the opportunities that 2023 will present and get yourself a financial education, because nobody cares more about your money than you. It's a small investment now for a lifetime of gain.
Hey, my name is Carlos Mansell. Everyone calls me KM. I run a property buyers agency business and we're located in Southwest Sydney, and we work with everyday Aussies looking to invest. We purchase real estate across all of Australia to match our clients' needs and strategies. Doing what I do, I am heavily involved in a person's financial life, and it absolutely baffles me the lack of financial literacy out there. Financial literacy refers to the knowledge and skills required to make informed decisions about money. This includes understanding how to budget, manage debt, save, invest. Now, I work with hundreds of clients a year, and close to 80% would have no clue about most financial terminology or concepts. They would have no idea how credit works, how loans work, how equity works, and it's just completely foreign to most people. Now, I'm a big believer that financial literacy is not something that is supposed to start after you finish school or university, as by that time a person probably already has a HECS debt or some other debt. I believe it's especially crucial for young people in school to begin becoming financially literate. The earlier financial literacy is learned, the better that person, that community, and the broader economy will be. Young people are often faced with major financial decisions such as getting their first job, going to school, university, managing student loans, and without a solid understanding of personal finance, it's easy to make costly mistakes. Often students graduate from school and then they are thrown into the real world with no understanding about anything finance, and this leads to unnecessary debt. They get taken advantage of by employers, and they build a dependency on the government to be able to help them through life all the way to retirement. This puts a burden on them, the government, and all the parties involved. They don't have the opportunity to become financially free. Now, if financial literacy was taught from a young age, people can make informed decisions about their money, how to avoid debt, bad debt that is, and start building wealth. They can learn how to create a budget, save for emergencies and long-term goals, and make wise investment decisions. Now, currently, financial literacy is not really taught in schools, but arguably is one of the most important topics to be taught. By starting young people have a greater opportunity to build wealth and achieve their financial goals and become financially free. Now, approximately 90% of all people who invest in real estate never surpass 2 investments. The percentage gets smaller and smaller at 3, 4, and 5 properties. However, what's interesting is that the percentage actually increases at 6 or more properties. And usually this is because by that point, most investors have figured out the game. They've become financially literate and have been able to create a financial freedom for themselves. So it just goes to show that if we are able to teach this financial literacy from a young age, whilst they're at school, most people will more likely be able to become financially free and take a burden off society. So I think as a society, we need to do better to ensure that financial literacy is taught to everyone. And if we start with the young, we'll be able to contribute to the future of our communities and our country. Thanks.
Hi everybody, it's Billy Amiridis here, practice principal, co-founder and financial advisor at 360 Financial Strategists here in Melbourne, Australia. Now today I'm going to talk about financial literacy because it's such a critical aspect of wealth creation and it's such a big feature of the things that I talk to people about in my financial advice conversations. Now studies show that financial literacy, understanding money and the basic concepts behind it remain relatively low across the globe. Now unfortunately the education systems are not doing an effective enough job in increasing the financial literacy of children, which unfortunately has ramifications and an impact on their financial future, especially when they become adults. A few things that I want to talk about is why financial literacy is so important and why everybody should be increasing their financial literacy and knowledge. Firstly, financial literacy can help individuals make informed and effective decisions about managing their personal finances. Understanding money and finance, how it works, and how to manage it is the cornerstone of building solid financial habits that will prove useful throughout one's life. Secondly, developing financial literacy can lead to improved financial outcomes, such as increased savings, greater investment participation, and a greater level of wealth creation and financial security. And lastly, Financial literacy can help individuals better understand the broader economy to make more informed decisions about their finances, which can prevent and alleviate financially stressful situations that may arise down the track. Now, I believe that a small increase in financial literacy can go a long way in improving the quality of life that someone has, and that's a skill to develop that will provide lifelong results. Hope that helps. Thanks.